Good afternoon, everybody. A season-defining game between two sides fighting to stay up. Of course, London City Lionesses are down there too, as are Reading, and Watford still have both of those sides to play. Lewes are away to London City Lionesses as well in their run-in. Watford looking to cross one in early. It falls kindly to their number 10, Annie Rossiter, as she drags it wide. Let off for the Rooks there. Whitehouse thumping it forward, trying to find Claypole as she does get a touch onto it. It's kept alive nicely, and that's a brilliant layoff from Wriglar as Hand tries to get it past Fleming. Good midfield work, but Hand wins it back. A brilliant run here as she lays off a ball to Wriglar. Just a bit too much onto that. She goes for the effort. Farrugia! And it's in, but it's offside. Gutting for Maria Farrugia as she's denied a third goal in 2 games at the Pan. But just before that, it was an excellent run from Hand. Garrod. Loose touch there from Whitehouse, putting Godfrey under pressure, but Whitehouse will try and loft it back out to Godfrey, but then they give it away. Watford with an early opportunity here again, try and open up the scoring. Coral Haynes hits the bar. My word. The post rattled early on here. Lucia Leon was trying to put Whitehouse under pressure, but that's brilliant footwork from Farrugia. Now Claypole, as Lewes are getting bodies forward here. Brazera Carrera's in some room. Wriglar, and it's in! Grace Wriglar opens the scoring here at the Pan in this game with such importance. Just after Haynes was denied by the woodwork, Grace Wriglar down the other end, meets the end of that Claypole ball in, and puts the Rooks 1-0 up. Relief so far here for Lewes. And it will be Farrugia to loft a ball in. It's good. Olding meets it just beyond the post. But a good delivery from Lewes's number 10, and Olding just unable to find the back of the post. So Farrugia with her right hand raised. This time it'll be the left foot of Hukin. Can there be a different outcome? Almost. The same outcome. Finding a player in red as they were trying to steer it into that far corner, but just past the post. As Claypole will just drag it back, and Hamilton will pick it up as she looks up to try and thump it towards Garrod as she gets almost a clever flick. You could see what she was trying to do. This time she will feed it in. Claypole's there, calls for a penalty from Lewes as they felt she was brought down. We're well into the final minute here of the first 45. Can Watford go into the break with an equaliser? Over the crossbar, not troubling Whitehouse. It was a curling effort. Finding McLean in some room as she plays it back to Leon. Fierce ball in, met by the foot of Godfrey as she clears it out first time, but Leon continues to put another ball in, and that's headed away kindly. A dangerous opportunity falling to Coral Haynes. Lofting it forward as Claypole gets a touch. A late surge here from Lewes. Can they find a second just before the break? Hand lofts it in, hits the crossbar. Farrugia's there, surely not. And it's a corner. Watford worried here late on in this first half, but they'd rather that be the case than a second goal. But Lewes with another opportunity to try and make it 2. More distance on it this time, and it's into the back of the net. Once again, the number 2, Grace Wriglar, getting her second goal of the afternoon and getting Lewes's second before the half-time break, putting them in even more control this afternoon. Grace Wriglar, as Farrugia's lurking to try and latch onto a loose ball, but Brazera Carrera is there to try and drive it forward. Here's Hand, whips it in. Can they get an early goal in the second half? Watford say no. Thumped forward as Hamilton intercepts, but Wilson wriggles away from Hamilton and strikes it at goal. Tipped over by Whitehouse. Fingertip save, and it will be a corner. Lois Hukin, a congested 6-yard box. Hamilton furthest back. Hukin, plenty of whip on it, punched away by Howard. There will be another corner for the Rooks. Lafayette playing it forward, trying to find Johns, but instead Olding will be underneath that. Hazard first time clearance, Ferrugia picking it up and looking like she wants to have a go here. Claypole, can she open up some room? Here's Hazard, can they get a third? Hazard chasing, Howard too. They'll be happy Crystal Palace lost to Sheffield United as Palace are just onto them on second. Here's an opportunity. Struck there from Baptiste. Routine from Whitehouse. To Lafayette, punched away by Whitehouse, struck goalwards, blocked by their own player Watford. It was Leon. Played forward as Wriglar up against Fleming, finds Claypole. Brilliant turn from Claypole as she opens up room to Ferrugia. An opportunity for Lewes to get a third and seal the 3 points. Ferrugia still with the ball at her feet. Good defending there from Meerwald, but an excellent return pass. Ferrugia, Wriglar brought down, no penalty, and Howard claims that ball, but it was and hand all in the wall to try and prevent it from heading into the back of the net. Instead, it goes beyond the woodwork, doesn't trouble either the wall or Whitehouse. An opportunity. Haynes lofts it in, unable to find a header. Davison strikes it low. Johns makes it 2-1. A 7th goal of the season for Carly Johns, and a nervy ending for Lewes here at the Pan. They're not giving up Watford. And the top goal scorer halves the deficit here for what will be a dramatic ending of the game. Not what Lewes wanted, but they've got it anyway. Instead, Johns will get on the end of it and sprays a lovely ball out to Davison. Blades having to do some defensive duties. From distance, Palish testing Whitehouse over the crossbar as Whitehouse's arm was stretched. Lewes with plenty of bodies back to try and prevent Watford from a second. Baptiste cuts it back onto her right, fierce ball in, falls to Johns. Here's Davison! It's a corner for Watford, they're not giving up. Another corner is the outcome, but the referee says no, and that is the end of the action. It was a 90th minute goal from Coral Haynes, which halved the deficit, but was not enough to prevent Lewes from dropping those 3 points that were won by the team, but most importantly, the player of the match, Grace Wriglar.